Hello and welcome back to the monthly PickFu Agency Masterclass. It's not a webinar, it's a masterclass. So I have my screen shared here, what we're going to get into. I think we're going to wait a little bit to see everyone hopping in. Let me see the chat over here. Okay, I have my chat box open. I have all my good stuff open so I can see everybody. So guys, just a little housekeeping. We're going to have some slides. We're going to have some demos. If you have questions, this is what these master classes are for at the end of the month, is to help enable your team to use PickFu properly. And there's a lot of different ways you can use it, whether it's in your sales process for, procuring new prospects and leads and closing people that are already on the books, streamlining your operations. So ask any questions that you have in the chat. We want it to be very interactive. That's the goal, right? It's after 5 p.m. here on the East Coast. It's very relaxed, casual, as we say. But the goal is we want to get the questions that you have and answer them, because I can't tell you guys how many people this past week we've literally, agency owners, have blown away with getting PickFu in their hands and using it, and them actually coming back to us and saying, well, have you ever thought about using it for this? And some things we were like, yeah, and some things we were like, no, we had no idea. This is great insight and great feedback, because you can PickFu anything. So it's not a matter of if you're, oh, hey, John, I don't handle creatives, I can't really use PickFu. Well, no, you could use it for everything. If you're a PPC agency, let me switch it over to everyone so I can see. We have some people. Adrian, how many people we got here so far before I go into my spiel? Throw a number in the chat. Guys, if you're here, we got 11 people. Don't be silent. You don't have to talk. You could just throw a pizza emoji in there. Just say you're here. Or if you don't want to say where you're from, uh, you know, say a competitor of yours. No, I'm just kidding. Don't say competitor of yours and then they're here. We have the magical, the wonderful, the PPC guru herself, Elizabeth Green, coming in with the piece. So guys, if Elizabeth Green is coming in here saying hello, you can't feel shy and not say hello. You gotta, because she's one of the people we blew away this past week with some PickFu stuff. Yaseek from India, welcome. I don't even know what time it is in India right now. So I think it's like the Philippines where it's flipped. So it's like 5, it's probably early morning over there. So I appreciate you for hopping on when it's early in the morning. 2:30 a.m. Well, God bless you, because 2:30 a.m. I would not be existing, to be quite honest with you. Amanda from Buffalo. Amanda, are you a Buffer brand? I would assume so, from Buffalo. I could be wrong. I don't want to assume, but you know what happens when you assume. Who knows? But we'll get started here in a second. So the powers that be. Oh, we got a lot of AI assistants in here. That's wonderful. Mike Danford. Mike, your AI assistant is in here. I hope you're in here too. Everyone loves AI. So everyone has a Fireflies, a Fathom, Otter, everything. Excuse my voice, just getting over a double ear infection, which is very, very fun. Yeah, she's with Buffer Brand. All right. Let, oh my God, I may die on this masterclass, but that's okay. We want to die giving value. All right, guys. So let's hop into it. Oh, we got coming from Toronto. Okay. Canada in the house. Raptors. Meh. But guys, let's hop into it. Can everyone see my screen okay? We're gonna be that cheesy pre-pandemic. Can you see my screen okay? Because the powers that be have given me slides, and I'm not a slides guy, so I need to make sure you can see them because they're packed full of beautiful. Thank you. So what we're covering today, building a great testing sequence to optimize client listings. We want to show you guys exactly how to test and the strategy and the sequence behind that. Second thing is asking better poll questions to get more specific, relevant insights. This is a game changer, because if you're just using basic questions, or if you're trying to lead someone into something, you're going to get feedback that's you don't want, or maybe you want it and it's not going to be valid, right? So you don't want to lead someone into a poll saying, oh, do you think this is the best protein powder because it has this, this, and that? And they're going to be like, yeah. And they're not going to give you their actual feedback. And then the next steps for your PickFu agency program journey. So if you are a PickFu certified agency, which you should be, you're in the win. And if you're not, we have a whole team that's going to be able to help you out. I do have my PickFu hat on today, but since it's like half a sick day for me, I am wearing my typical horror movie shirt. So if there's anyone that's a horror movie fan and knows Art the Clown, drop that in the comments because we love Art the Clown. But let's hop into it. So Amazon main image optimization poll sequence. So this is the first poll you'd want to run in your sequence. So it's a competitor analysis. So here, you can see right here, this is the client, Bobo's Protein, and here's the winner. So we did a ranked poll here. So you want to see how your main image compares to your competition, establish a baseline. You want to understand why you're losing to X amount of people and who really is the competition. I talked to so many brands working at agencies in the past, and brands will be like, either A, I know who my competitor is, this is the one, and in actuality, that's not their competitor based on data, insights, and research. That's with who they think their competitor is. Or they have no idea who their competitor is. So this is a way for you to take that and say, okay, this is where people are shopping or people are choosing versus you, and what can we do about that? So what I want to do here, let me see if the magic of me switching. No, I didn't do it right. There we go. So this is how that's going to look when you open up in PickFu. So you can see here, right? Actually, this is an older one. Hold on. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one right here. So with this, we're able to go down here and see the insights. So why did everybody pick A? Well, they picked A because it shows what the unwrapped bar looks like. People like that. So if you're doing the creatives for clients, you're going to say, hey, we need to show the box and the bar and all that kind of good stuff. Would it make sense, Elizabeth says, to also add the screenshot, including price and star rating, how it appears in search? Great question. So this process right here is more, I want to say, not advanced. This is best practice of polling when you just know what you know. So kind of what Elizabeth is talking about is if I went to Amazon and I typed in protein powder. No, let's stick to what we're talking about, protein bars. So what Elizabeth is kind of talking about is doing more of a click test. So with a click test, you would do a screenshot like this. And then I use CleanShot Pro on a Mac, but if you're using PC, you could use whatever else is a screenshot tool that can let you like edit it, or Canva if you have Canva. But you could take this and then put this one into a click test for a SERP click test, and then you could redact whatever you don't want to with like a blur, right? So for example, if you just want to go straight on creatives, like we're looking at this, if you want to do creatives and reviews, move it down. If you want to do creatives, reviews, and pricing, move it down like this. So Elizabeth's saying, meaning taking those images and doing a ranked search with the whole listing, not with the main image, but that too. Yeah, you can do that too, right? So what Elizabeth is becoming an advanced user. So what she's talking about is going over here and doing a ranked poll, right? Let's say there's 4 options. She's talking about doing a ranked poll for copy link address, right? And then coming down here and putting the links for each individual Amazon listing. Elizabeth, is that correct? That's what we're talking about? Is doing the same poll that we're talking about here, but instead of images, we're talking about the whole PDP itself. So Amazon always makes messy. Well, we could do that too. Yeah, so you could do a ton of stuff, right? So Amazon's super messy with their URLs for tracking, whatever it is. But basically, if you just have, here's a little hack for anyone that doesn't know. All you have to do for Amazon URL is amazon.com/DP for detail page / the ASIN, and then that'll pull up the ASIN. So technically, you can put all 4 of these in here and then ask people what they think. She says, but I was asking about the screenshot of how it appears in search. Yeah, so the screenshot one is what we talked about before about doing that in the SERP. So with something like that, we're taking this, right? The screenshot, including price and star rating and how it appears in search. Yeah, so that's a click test. So we're taking this right here, saving that, going over here, uploading the image here that we just took a screenshot of. My stuff saves over here. And then instead of open-ended or star rating, we're doing a click test, right? Because now when this loads up, we're going to say, if you were shopping on Amazon, and this is going to get to a couple slides ahead, for protein bars and any additional context that you may have, protein bars for men, for women, protein bars that are a certain flavor, which product would you click on and why, right? So now when I go down here, and you only want to keep it at one click. When I go down here to preview the poll, what that'll look like is this. So if you're shopping on Amazon for protein bars, which product would you click on and why? Um, I don't think she means still doing a rank poll. I think she means still doing a rank poll, but just also including the price star rating in the main image. Okay. Okay. So now we're getting it. All right. Now it's making sense to Johnny. Johnny has antibiotic brain. So what Adrian is kind of conveying for me is what we're doing is like this. So you could do a ranked poll like this. And I'll pick one more. I'll pick metrics or MetRx if you're fancy about it. So what we would do with this is go back up here, remove this. We're going to change that in for a second. We're going to give it 3 options. So you guys notice when I do 3 options, 2 options, it's head to head. I add a third option that's automatically ranked because you can't do head to head on just 2 things. So I can do this, this, and this. So now I think I got it now. Elizabeth, is that right? So now we're giving context with the reviews and there we go. Good old Adrian behind the scenes. So now you're able to not only give ABCD or ABC in this case, but you're also giving context about the price and units sold and reviews and all that other kind of stuff. So it's really limitless on what you can do as far as the images that you're loading and you want to show, right? So going back to this example, you know, you have to have the competitors over here, but in this example, okay, we understood why we were losing or why this client was losing to that competition. So this is important to see because let's say and I think that's the one I have down. Oh, this is the last one. So when you have ads, right? Talking about Elizabeth, ads, or if you're running PPC or brand ads or anything like that, or top of search, if you're not doing best practice, like showing it open, showing the packaging, showing this kind of stuff. See, I know this kind of stuff because I've been doing it for so long. But what PickFu does is it kind of takes what I know and just shows you, hey, this is what you need to do. Like I know I wouldn't have to run a PickFu to know how to optimize a main hero image for a protein bar because I know what people are looking for. Now, if it's something that is very technical or anything like that, then yeah, okay. Or what better value prop is there, or what flavor, right? So let's say the client, for example, was IQ Bar, and they were running peanut butter chip, blueberry granola, strawberry banana, and lemon lime. Well, those are their own concepts. They didn't roll out yet. So you won't know what works best either until you test the market and crash and burn on certain flavors or colors or styles, or do the testing beforehand. So I know a lot of agency owners have this question where they have a client and the client says, hey, agency, I am doing awesome with these black and blue widgets. I want to do more on those widgets. I want to run them in green, orange, purple, and yellow. Well, what do you say as an agency owner? Yeah, no problem. Let's do it. There's really no other answer besides that, unless you go ahead and take a look at some Helium 10 or Jungle Scout data and see, oh, okay, are other ones selling well? And you really can't get that granular. You could if you tried, but it's really a big pain in the butt. So 9 out of 10 times, what agencies will say is, yeah, let's go for it. Sounds like it. I don't see anyone else selling it. No problem. But now with PickFu, you're able to say, okay, hang on a second. Let's poll the audience or the ICP and see what colors they want. And if no one's voting on strawberry banana, because strawberry banana is gross, in my opinion, then you would tell the client, hey, client, we don't think, based on the PickFu data that we have, strawberry banana is the best for your ICP. That's a woman in her 30s that has an income of 100,000 or more and 2 kids. If that's the ICP, those are the people we're asking those questions to. And they're like, nope, don't like it. I prefer blueberry granola or whatever it is. So you're able to make these better informed decisions with your business for you, for the customer's business as well. But that's this one. So this is competitor analysis. So you need to see this first. So if we're talking about flows and sequences, this is the first thing you need to see. And there's other first things you need to see that are a little bit more advanced, but from a fundamental point of view, this is the first thing you need to see in order to go to the next step. Now, the next step is the design iteration. So, okay, we're going to take all that data from those polls, why this guy was winning, why a couple of people like this guy, and we're going to make ours better. Now, you're not going to make it better and just run with it. You're going to make it better in a couple of different ways, and then you're going to pick through it. So you're going to see here, I would think, if I didn't do this iteration, I would think, yeah, this is better. This shows the bar on the outside. This shows the packaging. Just this shows all this kind of good stuff. But if we didn't run the PickFu on this, you would never know that, okay, this beat this because XYZ, because it has the hand on the outside, because, well, let's take a look and see exactly why. All right. So when I take a look at this, the photos, a hand for scale, shows me how really large the product is. So a lot of folks like the hand in there, right? And again, the hand is always kind of relative too and subjective. So it's okay if your ICP is a woman and it's a painted fingernail on there. Okay, that resonates a little bit. But if your ICP is a macho dude from the gym that's going beast mode, and you have like a dainty hand in there with fingernails, but maybe that's not going to resonate with them. So those are things you'd want to try and see. But yeah, a lot more natural, doesn't feel too dense. Doesn't feel too dense. I guess it means the way that it's positioned. I don't know what they mean by that. Hopefully they don't mean the bar. I will read it because it displays the product clear to me. I'm able to read it. Okay, so a lot of folks also like this up here. And again, this product is not coming like this, right? We're not saying that you have to redo all of your packaging and merchandising and stuff like that to physically send out to customers. No one's really going to care with this. This is a consumable item. Where you will find issues with this for your clients is if it's a giftable item. I'm trying to think if I have anything giftable around here. I don't. Guys, send me some giftable stuff. I'm just kidding. But if it's like jewelry, for example, or if it's a really high-end appliance or a mom box, those mom boxes that are out there, if you make it look like it's a very ornate box and then they don't get that, that's where you're going to have some issues. But stuff like this, that's utilitarian or consumables, folks are not going to care. Does that make sense? Drop a pizza emoji if that makes sense. You guys are way too quiet for me. I don't like it. And it can't be Elizabeth. Elizabeth is engaging enough. She's got to put her mouse down. Seeing the hand, the offset angle, slanted placement. So guys, placement is a real thing. So that's the other thing too. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the Western world, in the US, in North America, yeah, zip it up. We read left to right, left to right. So when you have a product that reads left to right into the listing, that's always going to read better than the other way around. So I hope that makes sense too. So for example, if this was facing the other way, it would not perform as well as it facing this way. Because when you look at an Amazon listing, for example, see how this one is tilted in, left to right. left to right, left to right, left to right. You're never going to see right to left. And I know some folks here's right to left. Eh, always going to see left to right, because here's right to left, right? But some folks see that as a pattern interrupt. But remember too, these could be giant brands where no one's going to care how it looks, right? So these guys are doing 9K in the past 30 days. So if you're an up and coming brand, or if you have a client that has a brand launch, you don't want them to do like things like this that are pattern interrupts just because of for the sake of being different. But again, you still always want to test it on PickFu. But something like this, right? Like, do you guys think this is the best possible main hero image that this chocolate dough bear bells protein bar can do? No, they could do a ton better of a job by showing the flavor prop more, showing the value prop more. I can't really read this down here. Like, color psychology is a real thing. Like, dark brown or gold on navy blue is very, very hard to read. So odds are they probably have a following, from D2C website where no one really cares. They're not stumbling upon it. Even Kirkland, even Costco understands this. Hey, we got Daniela in here. Hey, Daniela, 3 pizzas. Hope you got my LinkedIn message about that new thing Macs are doing. I don't know if you're a Mac gal or not, but left to right, left to right. And since Danielle is in here, she could tell you the color psychology and position psychology of left to right and people reading left to right, and how that is super, super paramount when it comes to shopping on Amazon and merchandising. So yeah, so that's that one as well for that. And then the third one in this, you can see now we have the winner. You're taking your iteration and then you're doing that. This is a verification test. So you're taking your iteration and you're running it again. So you see Bobo's protein was the winner, right? Because we took all the elements that the original winner was having and we added that to ours, but we made it better. So you don't want to just take it and bring it apples to apples, even Steven with a competitor. You want to go above and beyond. You want people to taste it. If it's a consumable, if it's like motor oil, you don't want people tasting that kind of stuff, right? Because that's a little bit more difficult. But anything with scents, flavors, flavor profiles, you want people to taste that kind of stuff. So now, if I go back here to the winning one, right? People are going to say, make them drool. Yeah, make them drool for sure. I've had these products. It helps to see example. I can judge the texture up front that is high protein, right? So you see here, 12 grams of protein. Who knows how many? 14, I can kind of see it. 20 grams, but 15 is in their faces. So you could see from this main hero image what the flavor is, what the flavor is, what the flavor is, what the flavor is, how many I'm getting, what's the value prop, and then size. Adrian saying, by the way, we'll share these and follow up tomorrow. So you have the links to all of them. Yeah, absolutely. You guys get all the goodies because you came on the live webinar masterclass. Anyone that gets the replay doesn't get the goodies. No, I'm just kidding. So that's a verification one. So you always want to do that, right? So making sure we go back onto this, right? Oops, all these animations. So come on, Canva. So this is another example where this does that same process, right? Where it's baseline competitor analysis, design iteration, and then the competitor validation. But then this one does it a step further. So this is more of a 4-step, right? So that initially, before doing the baseline competitor, we're doing an open-ended poll to uncover opportunities. Danielle saying, are you running the validation test in the Amazon mockup poll? No. On Amazon Manager Experiments, you mean? Or no, validation is being ran under the ranked. So this is being ran under ranked over here in PickFu. Yeah, this is a ranked test. So it's not a mock-up. This is going to be, 4 different options. You're going to rank A, B, C, or D. Yeah. But with this one, there's one prior to this, where it's an open-ended poll. So hopefully I can bring this up. Adrian, there's no link on this one. Oh, there is. I lied. Haha. So let me pull this up here. Yeah, Danielle, with the Amazon mock-up poll, the mock-ups are drastically going to change really soon with some cool stuff that we're working on. That's about all I'll say with that. Okay, cool. So this one was, we just showed you guys 1 through 3. This is taking it 1 through 4. So this would be 1 initially. No comment, no comment on that. This is saying just the product image itself and open-ended. On a scale of 1 to 5, how do you rate how effective the image is? Can you tell us what it is and how you would improve it? So right here, we're gaining information by doing this one. That's why I said the 1 through 3 step is more basic, fundamental. This is a 4-step one by including this open-ended one to initially uncover opportunities you might not have or might not know. So you can see down here, they're like, it's a variety of canned fish. Design's a little busy. Seafood in a can. They thought it was magnets for a fridge. Selection of fish. It's not effective because each packaging has too much going on. So they can't see what it is. So we want to get that data before, so we understand the opportunities before we put our competitors in there. So that's just another way you can do those polls. Does anyone have any questions on polling? And I want questions. I want to know, you guys should be, and we have Buffer Brand in here, and I want Buffer Brand to be polling more with PickFu because Corey knows design, and his clients love that kind of stuff. So what questions do you guys have when it comes to creating polls on PickFu? Because I put PickFu in the hands of a bunch of agency owners last week and blew their socks off. And some of them were like, I don't even have socks on, but the PickFu put socks on me, then blew them off. It was that crazy. But what they're saying is because I can show all the PickFu in the world, but when they start to use it and play around with it themselves and realize, oh, I didn't know I could PickFu that. Well, I didn't know I could do this. Well, I didn't know I could change this. Elizabeth Green hopped on a call with me last week, and I didn't even realize that you can do head to head A or B for a video versus a still image. So if you're looking to see on a SERP level, right? If you can does this SERP with this brand ad at the top that's a video, do people like that better? Or do they like the option of the SERP with the static image brand ad at the top, right? So there's lots of different ways that can use this kind of stuff where you might think, hey, I'm a PPC agency. I don't do that kind of stuff. So how do I use it? Well, we're getting one of the largest PPC agencies on board with us with this kind of stuff. Danielle says, we ran one the other day because the client couldn't decide which A plus he liked better. He let the data decide and felt confident in his choice. That's awesome. So Daniela, when you ran the A plus testing, did you run it with a image to image? Did you put URL to URL? Because it probably wasn't live yet. So did you do like a long screenshot versus long screenshot? Was that what your test? Or did you do more of an open-ended? Image to image 50 prime shoppers. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you want to, that's a great way to test and see. The other good thing is to see is testing if a client has standard A plus and their top competitor has premium A plus, you can do image to image for that as well. And that's a great way for you to tell the client, hey, your competitor is probably getting more conversions or more likes because of the premium A plus, because more shoppers are liking or voting for the one with premium. This is how we need to adjust yours to be toe to toe with them. So that's a great way for you to have that extra ammo when upselling or selling different packages for premium A plus. Elizabeth says, if you wanted to see where someone to click on a page, what questions would you ask? So let's talk about that. So when we're talking about clicking on a page, is it an image or it's a URL? Because the only way we could see about clicks is if it's an image. So what you can do, if it's a very long image or like a page, you could do a scrolling screenshot and capture the whole entire page, which I think I showed Daniela how to do with a couple of tools to do like a scrolling capture. The way that works is like image. Okay, so let's say this is a monster parentage. These guys are crazy. So let's say we want to see where people are clicking on this page right here. What you can do, talk to Adrian, Daniel. So what you can do is, hey, I have one better than video polls, right? How about this? Bet you didn't know this. So I can hit scrolling capture and I can select this part of the screen and I hit start capturing and I can hit auto scroll. I can hit done. Now I have a giant image of the PDP. Okay. So don't worry about video. I have a giant image of the PDP right here where I can now go into my poll. And what I can do is I can take that, remove these options here. And now I can add another option. Where'd my giant thing go? I think it was on my desktop. No, it's still here. Hold on. It's like in between windows. Hang tight, guys. Can I drag and drop? Oh, maybe I can drag and drop. Let me see. Yes, I could win. PickFu for the win. So I can take that scrolling screenshot, which is a static image of the entire PDP, and I could run this as a click test. So if you're shopping on Amazon for protein bars, which product would you rather click on and buy? So we would change that, right? So if you're shopping on Amazon for protein bars, would you purchase from this listing? If not, why? Or actually, no. Where would you purchase from this listing? Click where it resonates for you, or click where you like, or something like that, right? Because then what's going to happen is if I go to the poll preview, Elizabeth says, I was trying to figure out if shoppers actually click on sponsored display ads. So that's good, right? So now this is what they're getting here, right? This is what they're getting in front of them. Would you purchase on it? Click where it resonates for you. And they're going to scroll and they're going to see like this. So if we're talking about sponsored display ads, right? So there's no sponsored display on this one. So you'd find one with like sponsored display and then see. So you could do open-ended as well. So I want to have an open-ended question just to see where someone would click on the page, right? So if this, let's say, for example, Elizabeth, if this had a sponsored display right here, you could say something along the lines of, you know, let's reword this a little bit and say, if you're shopping, uh, if you landed on this page on Amazon, would any image, or here, click on any image that you think is interesting or would want to learn more about. So you want to wordsmith that a little bit, right? Especially you may want to talk about ads. So the idea here is that, hey, you landed on this page, and what would deter you away from this actual page, if it's the ads or if it is. Yeah, you're welcome. So that's what you'd want to do. Sometimes it's hard for me to pull up something with sponsored display ads. I don't know why. Sponsor or certain categories only doing sponsored display. I don't know. Adrian says, or where would you be most likely to click next if you land on? Yeah, that's a good one. Where would you be most likely to click next? Right. So if they said, oh, I'd click down here because I like the vanilla milkshake, or if they said, oh, I would click, here because I like Cliff Bars, or whatever it is, then that gives you the idea of where people are resonating with and kind of landing on your page. So you could either do this, like I said, the clean shot for like scrolling capture is super powerful. You don't need videos. You don't need videos. Um, Videos, what they're going to do, yes, it's good because it gives you the whole entire experience of what someone's doing, but essentially you want rapid feedback. And if I just want to see where someone's going to click on this page, I don't hear what they're saying and look at all this kind of stuff. At least for like someone that's looking to pivot right away, I just want to see where their first click is, or I just want to see their first two clicks. So like, would they click this item and then maybe buy now or add to cart, or are they clicking add to cart and then the reviews? Are they clicking reviews and then they're clicking add to cart? So it's interesting to see where that journey is. So Cumming says, how would you run the test and what would you ask if you wanted to compare a product with a different functional design? Different functional design. Okay. So when we talk about different functional design, so we talk about you versus your product versus a competitor, or different versions of your product with a different function design, meaning different iterations of the same thing. So when I think of when you say that, my go-to is like ice cream scoop. So are you talking about like having an ice cream scoop with the little button here or no button? So comparing with competitors, yeah. So when it's function, right? If it can be said very clearly from the main hero image, then you're doing a simple image A to B head to head on the main hero image. But if the function is really detailed and you're required, or the customer is required to see more about how it functions, then I would do the head to head with kind of what we just talked about here with the scrolling screenshot. So people get to see the entire PDP. So it depends on what you're really testing for, right? Can you share a little bit more? Don't tell me the product, right? But share a little bit more about the category, maybe. This way I can give you a little bit more specific example or show it. Because it depends, right? It depends what we're talking about. Like ice cream scoops. If you want to do an ice cream scoop with no button versus the little button that pops out the ice cream scoop into the cone, right? That's the value prop. Now, does it convey enough from main image to main image, or do you require a really extensive PDP or product detail page for people to see how it can work? Like how technical is the functional design, right? Because I think for items that are very technical, you have to triple down on that in your, your product detail page and your A plus content, especially if it's more expensive, especially if it's high end. That's where people are going. Like for me, when I'm buying an ice cream scoop, I'm not going to the PDP. I'm just gonna be like, cool, $5.99, done. I'm buying it. But if it's something like, you know, car amplifier, where these are like, I thought Ample was more money, like $77 or 147 for Pioneer. I'm not just gonna hit add to cart. I want to learn a little bit more about, hey, does this fit my car? And you know, Pioneer is probably a arbitrage kind of brand. It's not them, and no one really cares. But I'm still going to go here anyway because I want to see more about the technical aspects of this kind of stuff. Right. I'm trying to think of something else that's really expensive. Apple, by the way, is not a good example of best practices for stuff, because if you look at like Apple AirPods on Amazon, um, yeah, I mean, Apple, don't be Apple because you're not Apple, right? Apple comes here, they do these very simplistic kind of things. Even though they're still really informative, they look really nice, but if you're an up and coming electronics brand for headphones, please don't be that guy. Or tell your clients don't do that, because that's a very steep hill to climb. You can't be Apple, you can't be Coke, you can't be Pepsi. You have to be really scrappy with this kind of stuff and tell people. So cereal dispenser. So those are cool. I've seen those. Who knows? Let's go back. Here we go. Oh, there we are. Okay, so let's say cereal dispenser. So most cereal dispensers are going to look like this, right? Where you're going to have, you put the bowl under it and it's going to drop down. Now, if your cereal dispenser, let's say, has something special to it and why it works, maybe a little bit easier, or maybe it automatically drops down, right? Where I would say to do a lot of this kind of stuff is the post edits, right? So if you notice, there's not a lot of folks that have boxes behind their main images, which is a huge miss because like Honey can do, all these other big brands on Amazon, they just do whatever. But technically, if you really want to talk about image guidelines, you're not supposed to show cereal in there, right? You're supposed to really show it like this. But that's not appealing and no one likes that. So everyone kind of teeters on like image guidelines and best practices by putting cereal in here. Now, if it was me, I would say, okay, what is my competitor doing? Are they doing Cheerios and another oat brand cereal? Well, maybe we want to show it with color, like the Fruit Loops, the Trick cereal, the strawberries to make it pop. But if we're talking about functionality, right, you'd want to do a head-to-head against this. So let's say this is your competitor, for example. Actually, let's say this is your competitor, and yours has a button on it, and it has different colors. You want to show that in the head-to-head, right? Show that in a head-to-head. This is a ranked one, but you want to show head-to-head unless you know multiple different other brands that are selling it. So let's say this is your clients, right? And here are the competitors like this. You're running this in a ranked poll, and I already know what they're going to say. They're going to say, yep, cereals in this. I want this one. I like Fruit Loops. I like black. I like this and that. But if yours has a special feature behind it, what you want to do is take it, make sure your cereal kind of pops out of this, right? Use the cereal as like a pattern interrupt, but then also put the packaging behind it, whether you have retail packaging or not, and then use that, right? And then PickFu that, because if you PickFu without and with, I don't want to say it's a wasted PickFu, but everything with is always going to win. So you really want to make sure you're using your PickFu kind of data wisely. So I would say if you have it already optimized, then do the ranked poll into that, but automatically understand serial is going to be the pattern interrupt, but then taking this, like I said, let's say this is yours, right? So if I copy the image, Danielle says the bowl image can backfire saying, oh, I thought it came with a picture of the cereal bowls or the pink cereal bowls. Yes. So this is not best practice. Don't do this unless it comes with it. And I think it does come with the bowls and the spoons in this one, so that's okay. But never show, no one's ever going to say, oh my God, where's my Fruit Loops? But they will say, where's my bowls and my spoons? Because that's something like this one, I would be careful with that because even though it's a lifestyle image, but here's a good example. They're getting away with putting a lifestyle image in the main hero image. So just be cognizant of that. But the idea is you would take this, right, and put the packaging behind it and then run that PickFu because that's guaranteed to work. Oh my God, where's my oh my God, where are my Fruit Loops? 1 star. I'm not doing this with you today, Honey Can Do. But back to my slides because Adrian's probably like, get back on the slides. Tips for asking better poll questions. This is a lot of the questions I get a lot of times from people is I don't know the right question to ask. That's okay. So how much do you like this product? You don't want to do that. What do you dislike about this product and why? Because you don't want someone saying, oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. Because that's just like asking friends and family or how much do you love this product? Oh, it's great. You want people to know what they like and what they dislike about it because you want feedback that you can actually use and do things with. You don't want feedback that just tells your product, this is great, this is amazing. Because let's face it, every listing on Amazon, all of your clients' listings on Amazon, there's always someone out there that's better than them. I highly doubt anyone on this call has Apple, has Coca-Cola. I could be wrong, I don't know. As like their client top dog, even Coca-Cola. They spend millions and millions of dollars on advertising. For Coca-Cola, you would never think that they would need to, right? So even big dogs have to be cognizant about how they're merchandised. So be clear and specific. Give respondents a specific question to answer instead of just sharing product info. So when we're talking about protein powder, we don't want to say, let's go back over here. Let's make a question. Let's just say it's protein powder. So let's use I like to modify the pre-canned one that we have. So instead of, if you're shopping on Amazon, which product would you rather buy? I don't like, that's a good place to start, right? I'm not gonna say I don't like that. I would say if you were shopping on Amazon, for chocolate protein powder for women, which product would you rather buy? Do you guys see how that question gives more context? Because a lot of times I'll see polls that'll say, well, I don't like chocolate. I don't want any of them. Or I'm not a woman, so I don't want any of them. So, you have to make it very kind of understood. If you were shopping on Amazon for this specific item, which would you rather buy? Because you don't want to just say, oh, I like this because it's green, I like this because it's blue. You want the person who's shopping for chocolate protein powder for women, and you're going to drill that down into your traits to say, I like this because XYZ. And that's the feedback you want to have. And that's the feedback your clients are going to love. Literally, we've had so many people thank us for doing random free polls, right? To give to their clients that said, my client loved this. My prospect loved this. So that's the other thing too, we're rolling out with agencies is if you guys have a sales team, right? So let me go back to my little window. If you guys have a sales team and they're reaching out to prospects and they get a meeting on the books, a discovery call, we want to empower your salespeople to get that deal closed. And how are we going to do that? So if you guys are on this call and you're registered, certified with PickFu, and you have a call that's on the books, hey, John, I have a call next Thursday, this big brand, can you run a PickFu for me? We're going to help you. We're not going to charge you for that. We're going to help you be able to close that deal because when you're on that discovery call, when you're on that kind of thing, I'll tell them about the links. When you're on that discovery call, you're going to say, hey, prospect, here's everything that, we can do. Here's all this kind of good stuff about your ASIN. And also, did you know I also went out there and did this PickFu test for you to show you the consumer insights and research? Did you know this? Did you know this? I bet you didn't know this. And they're going to be blown away. And when Elizabeth was talking about the links, you can then take those links to those polls and share them with the prospect as a follow-up call. Hey, Mr. Johnson, thanks so much for the call today about your protein powder brand. Here's our deck. And also, I know you're really excited about the consumer insight that we brought to you about from PickFu. Here's that PickFu poll that I ran for you. Just so you have that for yourself. And you can share those links with the prospects themselves. So don't think of PickFu as, hey, I only do creative. If I don't do creative, I can't use PickFu. You can use PickFu to close more deals. You can use PickFu to retain clients that are upset and angry. You can use PickFu to reduce churn. My voice just cracked because I'm still getting over being sick. Don't laugh. You could use PickFu to also streamline your creative process. So don't leave things open to interpretation. What do you really want to know? Don't let people pontificate in the comments. Really get actionable information and data. Stick to one topic. Don't stuff multiple topics in a single poll. You risk people answering only one and makes your job harder. Yes. So a way to look at that, if let's say this is a question, which product would you rather buy and why? If you liked the, if you liked, if you disliked one in specific, what was the reason? And would you also return to buy again? You see how we're getting very convoluted in the questions where it's like, I don't know which question to ask, like to answer. Like, okay, would you rather buy this? Yes. If it disliked one, so yes, and I didn't like the other one because of this. And I have to answer if I'm coming back to return to buy again. That's too much. You don't want to do that kind of stuff. So keeping it concise to something like this, right? But also understand where you want to ask the question according to the poll. So, for example, if this was a click test, you would say, where would you click on this page? I keep slipping up. Page, right? Versus you wouldn't ask that for a ranked. You would ask, or for A to B, let's say a head-to-head. Shopping for protein powder, which would you rather purchase? Right. So the context of the question is super important. So You can't say which would you rather purchase if it's a click test, because then people were like, this is just one thing, right? Or if it's a SERP click test, you have to say click which one you would rather purchase because you want to see where people are clicking. So always keep that in mind and keep that in mind is what I'll say. Let me go back to this. So don't assume the audience knows what you need. Never assume. You know what that means. Provide relevant info about your product so they can give the most helpful feedback. So, like I said, if it's chocolate protein powder for women, say that. Because if you're polling people and it says chocolate protein powder, not for women, they may say, is it for women? If you're polling an ICP of a woman audience. And then you don't want them to say that because you want to make it clear that, yes, this is for women. Use common language, avoid industry specific terms or jargon. This is a great one. Literally, I had a company, a brand in Korea that was running some stuff in the US, and they used the terms PU leather. Guys, just put a comment below if you've heard of what PU leather is. I have, and it's a very manufacturer term that I said, please change that. Because PU leather is no idea. I'm curious. I'm gonna PU leather is plastic. Yes. So polyurethane, it's whatever it is. Yes, it's plastic. It's basically saying that it's fake leather. So PU basically no one advertises that as like a customer facing kind of thing. That's a very manufacturer term. So I explained to them, you don't want to say that. You want to say, do you like this? A common way to say, a better way to say fake leather and PU leather is to say vegan leather. Because when something's vegan leather, that's a fancy way of saying it's fake leather. So these are the things, and I know this for years of doing stuff on e-commerce and things, but understanding you don't want to use those kind of jargony terms like PU leather, because it sounds like smelly, like PU. Use the words that your customers use. Exactly. So if it's vegan leather, if it's, suede, micro, whatever it is, understand how people are shopping. And you could use tools like Helium 10, Jungle Scout, Data Dive, Smart Scout, yada, 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 to understand how people are searching. Does that make sense? Or am I crazy? I know I'm crazy, but does that make sense? Cool. So we're wrapping up right now. It's been fun, guys. We just had Daniela and Elizabeth and a little bit of other people chiming in here. But are you guys an agency partner with us yet? Drop your favorite emoji in the comments if you're a PickFu agency partner. Because if you don't drop an emoji, then that means I have your email and I'm going to haunt you with Loom videos telling you you should be an agency partner. There we go. Buffer Brand knows the deal. I know Elizabeth is probably searching for her favorite emoji right now. There we go. Right on the money. Daniela's trying to figure out a really good emoji to pull out of her pocket to slap it in there. But guys, all jokes aside, it doesn't cost you anything to be a PickFu partner. What it does give you access to is a plethora of good things, including our directories, partnerships with us, collaborations. Daniela, is that a peach? I'm going to keep it PG. Or so if you're already a PickFu partner, get certified. Oh, Mike Danford's giving us takeaways. Wonderful. So email Evan at PickFu to get certified. So if you are an agency partner, that's great. If you want to get certified, we got to put you through the ringer. It's not a ringer. It's actually pretty easy and it's pretty fun. And if you want some one-on-one time to uncover more opportunities with your agency, you could email me and I'm at your disposal. My whole goal is to get more agencies using PickFu to help them save money and help them make more money. So what's better? Making more money, saving more money, and making happy customers, or guessing? Making more money, right? So that is all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much. John Aspinall at PickFu. Yes, I will never get a John at email at any company I work at. I'm cursed. There's my LinkedIn if you guys don't follow me on LinkedIn. But it was a pleasure having you all. Any last questions before we kind of wrap it up? Anyone curious who Art the Clown is? Probably not. I'll give it one more second while I uh wet my parched beak. Hey, thanks, Amanda, for showing up. I love helping out agencies. Amanda, just grab some time with me because I know that Corey wants to do more stuff too. So grab some time with me and we can get you guys hooked up with some stuff. What's the agency partner link again? Adrian will drop that in the chat for you. So you can see a little bit more about that and come on board with us. But yeah, when you're a PickFu partner, an agency partner, we really go to war with, not at, with our agency partners. So we're not opposed to doing a lot of out of the box tactics to empower you guys for more sales, more money, more data, more happy customers, right? A lot of other tools out there are willing to kind of do this kind of stuff. But to be quite honest, we really value our agencies, our agency partners heavily. And there's a lot of good agencies out there like you guys that we really want to triple down on, at least for the rest of 2024 and into 2025. So I hope you guys are going to go on that journey with us. We're going to PickFu everything. My wife wants to have meatloaf tonight. I want to have rotisserie chicken. I will be PickFuing it because we'll let PickFu decide. Although I'm not sure where the ICP is on that. We got to figure that out. Maybe I can game the system and put, you know, whoever I am as an ICP. All right, guys, that's all we got for tonight. We will see you next month. Please come back next month. We're going to be doing some more fun stuff. Please come with questions. And I'm curious if you guys have done PickFu polls in between now and then. I want to go over the ones that you've had if you're open to sharing them and how we can help you make them better and go from there. All right, folks.